Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Candy and today I'm going to be talking about no woman really wants to buy flowers for themselves. And I'm referring to a song that was put out by Miley Cyrus. Nothing against the individual. She's an entertainer. She's got some great talent. Really, I'm coming for how women in particular are translating that particular song, which is called Flowers. I was reading on the comments of that song where it was being played, and I'm just gonna read a few of them and kind of give you a background on where my video is coming from today. This was a lady that said, I'm 70 years old. I've been through 2 divorces and 2 long-term relationships, struck out on my own at 68 and haven't looked back. I have always bought myself flowers. And mind you, 70 years old, 2 divorces and 2 long-term relationships. When I look at something like that, without knowing the person, without just going off of a comment, there's a lot of things that I can pick up. The common denominator. The common denominator here is that lady. And so when you look at situations, you have to right away try to look at the common denominator. And if the common denominator is you, then that's where you got to start. And question and say, why have I gone through 2 divorces and 2 long-term relationships and basically written off men by now? Maybe it's my choosing. Maybe it's me ignoring the red flags. I don't know, but it's worth looking into. Another lady said, it's so refreshing to hear a song that reminds us that we don't need to be in a relationship to be happy. This individual, before this song, thought in order for me to be happy, I need to be in a relationship. Another one said, I love how she's not singing about being wronged and hatred towards Liam, is her ex-husband, instead using her voice to literally tell people to love themselves. Okay, you're really not listening to the lyrics, because she's saying that she wanted it to work. She loved him. It didn't work out. And, you're behind me. You're in the past. So now I'm going to live my best life. Now I'm going to take care of myself. Now everything is still linked to her ex-husband. And then someone else said, this is an anthem for all women anywhere. No, that right there, that comment really freaked me out. That there might be women out there that think that this song is their anthem. Another one said, many heartbroken folks out there not realizing they can just spoil themselves instead of waiting for somebody else to do it. You should be spoiling yourself regardless. If you're in a relationship, before you get into a relationship, after a relationship, you should be prioritizing yourself to begin with. Doesn't have to happen because of a breakup. Like, listen to what some of these people are saying. Another thing I want to point out, that if you go into a relationship depending on the other person to complete you, I'm going to tell you that it's going to fail. It's bound to fail, simply because we're not built that way. I'm not built as a woman to make him whole, and neither is he. Instead, a healthy relationship is composed of 2 whole, balanced individuals with the goal of becoming one, which I'm talking about marriage. There was another post that said, Miley once again nails the sentiment of millions of women. Millions of women. Now that's a problem here. If she doesn't properly heal and get the right perspective on herself, then one of two things happens. And this is not just for her, this is for all women. And she very well may be already over it. She's healed properly. The song came out, later. Not really speaking on her. I'm speaking on these millions of women that are taking this and translating it really in a negative, toxic manner towards men. So if she doesn't heal properly, I'm talking about women in general, and get the right perspective on themselves, one of two things will happen. Number one, she's going to repeat history, meaning that whatever red flags you didn't catch before investing yourself, before going into a relationship with a man, you're going to repeat it again. Or number two, you're going to grow bitter. Kind of like the fox and the grapes. And the fox was trying to get the grapes and finally gives up because they can't reach them. And the fox says, I never even wanted them anyway. That's not true. The fox was going after the grapes because the fox wanted the grapes, but it was unreachable for that fox. And so there's times that you're going to pursue somebody that has no interest in you, that doesn't reciprocate that love. And save yourself a heartache and be real with yourself and let it go. Because there is someone out there that's going to love you, that's going to match your love, maybe even surpass it. Now, this thing about, I'll bring myself flowers, I'll write my own name in the sand, I'll talk to myself for hours, and I feel like I'm almost singing the song, but the truth of the matter is, and I'm going to speak for myself and for you women that are listening that can be honest with yourself, you do want him to bring you flowers. Of course you do. That's a sweet gesture. You do want him to write your name in the sand and completely understand you. There was a comment that I caught that actually made sense, and I'm going to read it. It said, unlike most people, I don't really hear an uplifting anthem to self-love. Because that's what women are trying to say. Oh, this is self-love, loving myself. No, this is a song that a woman didn't go well, and now she's putting her business out there and bashing. That's the reaction we're getting now, because I'm sure Liam's not getting a great a great welcome or reception from other women right now, if you read the postings out there, or any other men for that matter. It says, to me, she's mainly expressing the deep hurt and bitterness she feels from being rejected by her partner. It's defiant, yes, but the pain cuts deep and there's a long way to go. I have to agree with this one. You need to work on yourself. Having nothing to do with going into a relationship with anyone. It has nothing to do with that. When you work on yourself, it should never be because you just came off a relationship. If any relationship that you need to work on, it's your relationship with Jesus. I have a mentor, a virtual mentor, that talks about, and you may have heard about him. His name is Tony Gaskins. He talks about the 3 B's, and he encourages women to work on their brain, work on their brand, and work on their body. This has nothing to do with having a man in your life. This is just self-love. This is prioritizing yourself. This is self-care, regardless of your relationship status. And because as you care for yourself and you grow mentally, emotionally, spiritually, especially, God's going to introduce you to the one, not the perfect one, because you're not perfect yourself, but that you find someone in your life that is compatible to you. And when you're growing in these areas, you'll be able to see red flags even quicker. Because you get to a place that you're going to know what you want and what you don't want. And you're not going to waste your time, and you're not going to waste his time. And, the Bible talks about, because she's saying, I can love, well, before I say that, the Bible talks about speaking the truth, but speaking it in love. And some people say, well, I'm going to speak the truth. Yeah, but is it in love? Is it going to build and edify that person, or is it going to tear them down? And if it's going to tear them down, then don't speak it. Don't speak it out to anyone. Speak it to God. Go to prayer. Go take that to prayer and pray for that person if they've hurt you. And I will tell you, when she says, you know, I can love me better, I believe that to a level, but those of you that haven't experienced being loved by a man, I mean thoroughly, will never understand where even I'm coming from. And because I had that with my husband, you know, my husband's passed away, and to be loved thoroughly by a man, it's an experience that I realized later that not many women experience. Not many women can share in that because of whatever reasons, right? I will tell you that even after my husband passed away, it took me almost 10 years to get over him. That's how much he loved on me, and he took care of me, and, you know, he was my rock. And so, not that you can't love yourself better, but I'm just telling you, I've been in a great, healthy relationship, and not all men, you know, hurt women. There was another one that said, it's so refreshing to hear a song that reminds us that we don't need to be in a relationship to be happy. But why do we have to choose either or? Why do we have to be either happy or in a relationship? Why can't we choose both, right? And so I need you ladies to understand that men don't want to be rejected, just like we don't want to be rejected. And they want to be respected. They want to be loved just like we do. And so they're not the bad guys. They're human beings. And they have feelings too. And so I would say stop the man bashing and heal properly. Stop the man bashing. I'm going to say it again. And heal properly. Work on yourself, regardless if doesn't matter about a bad relationship, breakups, divorces. You don't need that to happen for you to work on yourself. You don't. You can start right now. If you're not even, if you're single and you don't have a committed relationship, work on yourself right now. That's what you should be doing. Working on yourself. And I mentioned earlier, you know, work on your brand. You know, what kind of career you're wanting to get into. Work on your brain, you know. Learn, gain knowledge, read books, take courses, grow your mind and your body, you know, take care of yourself physically. If you don't like the way you look, work on yourself, eat right, you know, sleep right, get that nutrition in, and you're going to feel so much better. Now, when you have these 3 areas in place, you're going to be able to make, as I said earlier, better choices when it comes to relationships in your life. You're going to know what you want, and you're going to know what you don't want, and what you're willing to compromise, because relationships, ladies, has to do with compromises. Nice song, great beat. I bopped to it in the car. I don't really listen to secular music, but I had to see what the buzz was about. And I'm going to read one more. This is a business lady talking. She says, calling all boss babes. As a divorced woman, okay, we pick that up right there. Myself, I know I'm not alone in desiring the feeling of freedom that comes with financial security. So let me help you invest into your own future by learning the steps to take to get you there. Bad Tinder dates need not apply. There's another one there. You see the red flags that I'm seeing? She's divorced, and she's saying basically, because I have financial freedom because of my divorce. No, you have financial freedom because you worked your tail off and you're actually building your business, but it has nothing to do with that man that you divorced. You're using that, and that's fine, but you don't have to do that. You can actually build financial freedom without all that drama, right? And then she said, bad Tinder dates need not apply. Maybe you shouldn't be on Tinder. That may not be for everybody. Apparently it's not for you, because you're bashing everybody on Tinder now because of your bad experience. And so single women, she was saying single women own more homes than single men. And I said, I didn't know this was a competition. You know, she's saying, you know, more single women own more homes than men. I didn't know we're in a competition. Go, guess what, ladies? We're not in a competition. Be careful what you read out there. Be careful what you're listening to. Again, nothing wrong with Miley Cyrus. She's a great entertainer. The song is really catchy. But how you interpret things is, you got to be careful with that. What you're embracing, what you're letting into your spirit, what you're letting into, you know, your ways. Don't go with everybody else. All these different comments that I'm hearing that are negative, that are toxic, that are man bashing, because these women are coming from a place of bitterness, of anger, of resentment. And that alone, all of that alone is exhausting. So I would say, yes, of course, I want flowers from a man that I care for and cares for me. And until that happens, I'm going to build me. I'm going to build myself up. So I hope this video helps. I want to use my platform to be a voice of reason to some of you ladies out there. If you have a man in your life, take care of him. If he doesn't do good to you, do the work, get some therapy in there. Do what you got to do. If that doesn't come through, then you may have to part ways, and wish him well and wish you well. And so again, I hope this video helps. And as always, do something good for you, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.